Hi guys, welcome to another movie crew review. Today I'll be reviewing Kraven the Hunter. The movie stars Aaron Taylor Johnson, Ariana DeBose, Fred Hatchanger, and Russell Crowe.
So Kraven the Hunter follows Sergei Kravinoff, the son of Russell Crowe's character, who is a head of a Russian mafia outfit. As he takes down people on his list, there's only one way to get off, and that is not a good way. We see him tangle with a villain, the Rhino, as the film culminates in an action extravaganza. So let's get into the review, and Moon, if you'd like to start us off this week.
Alrighty. So I'll start with the good. The best part of all this is I don't have to sit another Sony anti-hero BS. This movie was a train wreck. Apart from, I would say, the opening act and a couple of fight scenes here and there. This movie is just atrocious. I really feel bad for Aaron Taylor Johnson. I think he looked good in the like he is muscular and he was jacked. And apart from him, this movie is, I don't know, like the villains were so bad. Like the guy who played Rhino, like I thought Madam Web's villain was bad. Then he came in and I was like, and then he has like a sidekick, like Reverse Flash thingy. And oh my God, every time he was on the screen, I was just getting so pissed off for some reason. And I don't think this movie needed Ariana DeBose at all. Like she was there in the beginning to give him the powers or something, but like at the end somehow she knows stuff which would like kill someone off, and that was just came out of left field. And I would say the last, I think, 5 minutes or so, I wanted that movie. Like, I actually thought this will be the movie, like, whatever happened in the last 5 minutes or so. Or maybe they were planning to make Kraven 2, which is probably not gonna happen, and happy it's not gonna happen. And yeah, that's my rant. Yeah, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, it was better than Madam Web. I'll give it that much, but it wasn't. Yeah, it was.
Alright,
Because at least we had superhero stuff going on.
sure.
So that was the draw point. I think Aaron Taylor Johnson did a good job in this film in terms of the actual action character that he played. I liked the start bit in the prison. I liked the end fight scene with the boar and the villain, the Rhino, but the story was a bit boring. I mean, in terms of the CGI that they've done, at least some of it looked not bad. Some of it looked a bit, far-fetched in terms of like the quality, but I can see at least they've tried to not overuse it a hell of a lot and make it look terrible. At least they've toned it back a bit, in my opinion. So I think that was somewhat good. Mainly his character is a draw for this film, as you could see from the marketing and all the other stuff. So the rest of the characters don't have too much of a development. Russell Crowe is the same at the start as he is at the end. Russian mafia guy. At least this time he's not like in Les Mis. He actually tries and puts an accent on. He's not just like Russell Crowe pretending to be French. So positive, he's learned. But I mean, other than Russell Crowe's character in this film, the villain was very flat for me. I mean, we don't see him evolve into his final form until the last fight, and then it was a bit of action, bit of scrapping, and then boom, it's all done. And I think he was a foreigner. He's like got this 1, 2, 3 morphing Doppler effect thing, and it just was like meh. Especially when what happens to him at the end. The writing in the film is probably like one of these, like it's all catchphrase stuff, like. The way his character ends is just like typical, like early Marvel's writing, if that makes sense. It's not what it should be, and it takes away from the seriousness of the film when you have these like jokes and things that don't really fit that well. I mean, the son, Kraven's brother in the film, was a bit of a nothing character, more of a plot device than anything else. And then they have, something at the end for you that evolves his character a bit more, but other than that, I didn't really find too much hope in this film. I don't really think there'll be a Kraven 2 per se, but yeah. Cameron?
Yeah, look, it's very hard. I think when you take
such a villainous villain that always is just, every time I've seen Kraven in comics or games, his one thing is to get Spider-Man, and he's the best hunter in the game, and he's trying to fight off this superhero, and it's just, that's the main tie for me with Kraven. He's the best hunter, like, and he's up against Spider-Man, which is a superhero. And in this film, he's just, I don't know, it's just very lackluster. It's hard to follow him for the whole duration of the movie without an actual real threat to him. Like, you have the Rhino, yes, but I don't know, whoever designed the Rhino in this movie, he looked terrible. It just looked like this, I don't know, like the Thing from Fantastic Four, just grey with a couple of horns. Yeah. Like, I know it's hard, but you picked Rhino, and it's going to be hard to make him look good on a big screen, but I think the choice was terrible. But I think, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, I think he did act very well. I could see he was putting a lot of effort in, but it's just, the movie was just so hard to follow for me. It's just like, it was just a drag. And also, Russell Crowe for me, he felt more like the Kraven I knew than actual Aaron Taylor-Johnson's Kraven. It was hard for me to wrap my head around. I'm going, are they trying to do something different here and just make Kraven the dad? Like, I thought they were going to tie and say that was his alias back in the day or something. Yeah. Because Russell Crowe, if he was a bit younger, he had the build and he just had the aura of Kraven for me. But I do say Aaron Taylor-Johnson did act very well. But I just think, it was just hard. It's hard to reimagine these villains just as a standalone character in a film for me. Yeah, I didn't particularly, care for any of them.
No, because
the whole anti-villain thing,
anti-hero thing, you don't really care about them as well. So they are villains. So just keep them villains.
It's not. That's correct. Yeah. Like, you can argue Venom is anti-villain because he has arcs because obviously when the symbiotes come, he's very much, I want to get rid of the symbiotes. But with these other Spider-Man villains, it's like, they're not anti-heroes. I mean, they all have obviously reasons why they're villainous. Yeah. And sometimes it can be a bit humanized and you feel for them. But Kraven for me, he ain't no anti-villain, and it's
see,
just like
the only thing that made sense for me was the poacher thing, because he's like one with the animal. That I understood where the angle came from. But the whole just killing everybody, just for me, whether he kills bad people or not, he's just as bad as them once he does it, if that makes sense. So you can't there's no redeeming the character himself. So trying to make him seem like he's doing something good, is just,
it's not a big enough draw anyway. Yeah. As watching a whole film, if that's your ploy, that's like we were pretty bored during the movie. Like, it's not gonna escalate any further than what he's already doing, sort of thing.
It was just get to the next location. Pretty much for me, it was to get to the end bit, the ending. Like, you could watch, they have, so on YouTube, they released the first 8 minutes of that.
Yeah, that was the best part.
You could just watch that bit and then wait for it to, just come out, so you can skip to the end bit and just piece that together and make like a 20-minute film or something. Just a perfect timing. Yeah, but like you said, Calypso, who just kept reminding me of the icy ball. Just, that's all I kept thinking about when I heard her name. But she was such a nothing character. Other than to give him the little potion thing at the start, there was no point to her, especially the later in life. He's such a good hunter, then all of a sudden he needs her. It's like, you got this far in, right? 16 years.
And just to make sure, they had to, put in the dialogue that, I went to some school or something, some archery school, whatever. No, summer camp,
Yeah. Oh, what kind of summer camp was that? Oh, I got my own secret. It's just, lazy writing.
Yeah, there's some parts they focus on animal instincts. I think they explored more.
That I like, when he's the cigarette butt.
I wish they explored more.
That was alright. That interested me. And when, that car chase was actually pretty good.
I will
be honest.
Yeah.
Even the effects. Because I was watching his feet during the car chase to see if I could see where the CGI was done, I couldn't see anything. So the way that it's done, in terms of that change, and it was good because he kept getting beaten down, like by tougher and tougher things. So it's not like he just like, the car went out of sight and he just went,
Yeah.
you know, he like got smashed into a pole, he got all these things. So at least that, from a superhero perspective, or anti-villain, whatever perspective, worked nice for his giving up, if that makes sense. He didn't give up, he just couldn't go any further. So.
Yeah, for me the effects were fine. They didn't look poor, it didn't look great. It was just very middle ground. But yeah.
I'd rather that than like Madam Web.
Yeah, please. That's not a film. Are you seriously?
Yeah, I'm thinking
What, you
which
think it's
movie
that
is
close?
better.
You think it's that really?
Oh,
I think you need to sit down and watch Madam Web.
I'm not watching that.
No, you
Okay,
think it's
no,
it's
no.
an okay movie now?
No.
Alright guys, we're gonna give our scores.
Yep.
Moon, how many necklaces out of 10?
I got 3 necklaces out of 10.
John?
I'm going to give it 5 necklaces out of 10.
Yeah, I'll give it 3.5 necklaces out of 10. Alright guys, make sure to like, subscribe, check out our socials, and we'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.